Here are 4 ways to crush beat block fast. As a music producer and beat maker, I definitely know how it feels when you're sitting at the keyboard and no ideas are flowing. No matter what you play, it sounds whack. Man, that hurts. But in this video, I'm going to share with you how to get over that fast and get rid of it and never have to worry about it ever again. All you have to do is apply these 4 things. Make sure you watch the video until the end because I'm going to be dropping some exclusive gems that you've never heard anywhere else. Okay. And be sure to like the video too, man. Spread the good karma. What happens when you like the video is YouTube is going to share it with other producers just like you going through the same type of struggles. So when you like it, you're helping spread the good karma. And you know what happens when you spread good karma? It comes right back to you. Okay. So make sure you do that and subscribe too. And hit the bell notification so that you don't miss these uploads. I'm doing a whole series of these videos and I'm going to be going ham. I'm taking my 20+ years of experience and sharing it with you. Okay. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get to the 4 things. So the number 1 reason of beat block, what causes it, is repetitive patterns. So patterns work in 2 different ways. So patterns, you need to have a routine and you need to be consistent with certain things in order to grow. Like when you go to the gym, you have to keep working out certain muscle groups over and over again to achieve your ideal physique. Same thing with beat making, but also the only thing is, just like with the gym or lifting weights, if you keep doing the same routine over and over, you're not exercising any new muscles, or you're not giving your muscles a new exercise to do to give them something different, then they're going to become stagnant. So if you're a producer and you're using the same type of patterns, the same sounds you've been using for the last few years, sometimes even the last few months, if you don't switch it up, then what's going to happen is you're going to get bored. And with that boredom is going to come the beat block, because you haven't opened yourself up to any new energy to come through, any new ideas to flow through. That's what happens. I promise you, I've been through it many times before. Some things that I've done is to break that monotony, is learn new ways to approach making the beat, like even learning new scales. Like I might be comfortable in this one scale. I started making beats in like the G minor scale. And I used that scale a lot until I was like tired of it. And then I had to learn another scale, right? And I learned it by ear. And then all of a sudden I learned all of the scales because I wanted to expand my musical abilities. I wanted to expand my musical palette. So like I said, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, when you come to the keyboard or you come to your MIDI controller, you're going to get tired of it real quick. So you have to change it up. You have to switch it up. And sometimes that could even be your starting point. So changing up your starting point, which is still helping you break the monotony. So this is still all one principle. We're going to move on to number 2 soon. I just don't want to lose you. I want to make sure you're following me. So breaking the monotony could be starting your beats different. Sometimes I used to start with my drums all the time. And then it got to a point where I was making the same type of beats over and over again because I was so used to doing certain types of drum patterns. And then I started doing it with the melody. And when I started doing it with more of the melody, the lead melody, or even just like, what could be a chorus instrument later on, that's going to help change your whole perception of making the beat. It's going to give you a new angle of approaching it, right? So that's how you want to help yourself break the monotony. That's one principle that you can apply to that, is starting your beats different than you would before. Another way you could break the monotony is using a new sound or a new plugin that you aren't used to using. I had a whole time where I was only using stock plugins inside my Logic, right? And I would just go to the same old sounds. I would tweak them and make new ones out of them sometimes, or I would save that sound and just keep going back to it. And then it got to a point where I got bored again and I had to go and search for new sounds. So you have to change your tools in order to change your sound sometimes. Sometimes you're using a plugin that has the same palette of sounds. So you can go to a different sound, but it's going to sound the same because you're using the same plugin. So sometimes it's just switching up the whole plugin. Another way that you could, this is principle number 2, that you could stop and kill beat block right in its tracks is giving yourself a limited time to make a beat. Set up a timer for 10 to 15 minutes and force yourself to make a beat in that 10 to 15 minutes. Because what that's going to do is it's going to put you in a hot seat and it's going to make you move faster than you normally will. Sometimes we stay and we work on one aspect of the beat for a long time, and that could kill all the creativity because, for example, if I'm working on the drums for 10 to 15 minutes, it depends on what kind of creative energy I got that day. I might be exhausted afterwards. So when I'm trying to get to the melody, I don't have the energy for it. I might have to do something else. I might just not even be there that day as far as I'm fully focused. Maybe my focus just all went into that drum pattern and then I got tired of it. But the timer is going to force you to get past those that critical thinking, that analytical mind that we spoke about in the previous video. That analytical mind will hurt your creativity because it's overthinking, right? And it's going to cause you to second guess your choices. You don't want to do that. You want to give yourself a short window of time to do each element. So if you're doing it in a 10-minute window or 15-minute window, then and you're saying, okay, I'm going to give myself 3 minutes per section. So the drums I'm only working on for 3 minutes. The melody I'm only working on for 3 minutes. The bass I'm going to work on for 3 minutes. It's going to force you to make the beat faster and go through every aspect of it. And what that's going to do is bring something out of you that you're not used to experiencing because you've never put yourself in the hot seat like that. I've done that a bunch of times. Like, okay, I'm just going to make whatever I feel right now. And it came out as a banger. And I'm like, dang, I did that in 15 minutes. I heard Russ, the artist, independent artist, real dope cat. I know you know of him. He's doing his thing. He was talking about, in an interview I was listening to the other day, he was talking about how his top hits came within 30, 40 minutes. And we're talking about whole songs. So, he might do the beat and then leave it for a minute and then come back to it. Well, he was talking about how he had a beat playing that he had did before. I don't know how long it took him to do the beat, but he was talking about how he wrote the song in, the next time in like 15 minutes or something like that, or he recorded and completed the whole song in like a 45-minute window. That applies to creating beats too, and producing a track too. That time frame, when you limit your time frame, you're forcing yourself to speed up and get to it, right? Without thinking. You're not even thinking at that point. You're just doing it, and your subconscious mind kicks in and takes over, and everything that you've ever already learned or applied or maybe even listened to starts to come into play because you have access to everything that you want to be already as a music producer. You just have to believe in it and let it be. You do still have to train, but everything that you've trained up until this point is still within you. And the only way to access that is to get outside of your analytical mind and let that flow come through. So anyway, didn't mean to spend that much time on that principle, but I just wanted to embed that so that you understand that, because that's one of the most important ones. So principle number 3, the third way that you can get out of beat block is by using a sample, starting with a sample though, not just using a sample, starting with the sample. Because when you start with a sample, you're already starting with something foreign that's outside of your normal creative ability. So it could be like a guitar lick or a horn or a trumpet. When you do that, you're bringing in a whole nother energy that you've never heard before or didn't know existed. And it's like a portal. It's bringing you into that world. Right? You're bringing it into your world and it's bringing you into its world. And it's like two worlds meeting together. And what you're able to do with that energy, you're able to use that as kind of like a platform, right? Something to step into, to step onto, to raise your frequency higher so that it accesses a whole nother level of creativity for you, because you're using a different part of your brain at that point. And when you start doing that, you're going to realize, like, man, I would have never made this beat if I didn't use this sample. There was a time, this was back in probably like 2003. I was using a Motif 6 keyboard. And me and my homie would go to the record stores. We would buy records and all kind of CDs and stuff. We would go to the library. I remember one time we went to this record store on in Tempe, Arizona. It was called East Side Records. I don't know if it's still there, but we went there to get some records and stuff to pull inspiration from. There was a cat in the truck out there selling CDs. He was trying to get rid of these CDs he had of like random music. So we bought some of the CDs. Took it home, listened to it. There was a Spanish sample I had never heard of, would have never heard of or found in my life. And this cat singing in Spanish, I don't know what he's saying. I looked it up later and found out. But the whole idea was, I took that and I started with that sample and I did a beat under it. And the beat was cold. And when I took the sample out, the beat was still cold. However, I would have never made that beat without that sample, because the sample laid the groundwork for me. It gave me something to start with. Sometimes you just need a jump, like a car with a dead battery. Sometimes it just needs a little push to get started again. And that's what starting with the sample will do for you. It's like taking jumper cables and putting them into yourself or your DAW and sparking that creativity. Okay? So that's the third thing that you could do to kill beat block and get rid of it forever. So number 4, right? The fourth way and the fourth principle to get rid of beat block and kill it forever, never have to deal with it again. Stop waiting for inspiration, right? Stop waiting for motivation. Movement is what brings the energy, right? You have to create it. You have to start radiating the energy in order for it to be. You got to stop waiting and waiting for it to find you or chasing it. You got to create it. And you could do that various ways, but you must be intentional. You could say, you know what? I'm not feeling it in the lab today. What can I do to create that energy? Oh, I'm going to go on a walk. Then you hear the birds and the bees singing and everything. And you see all the greenery around you, people walking, people saying hi. That boosts your energy level, right? You change your energy, your aura, your vibration at that point. Then you come and bring that back to the lab. You can even say, you know what? I'm going to go see a movie. I'm going to go to the movies. I haven't been to the movies in ages. I'm going to just watch a random movie, whatever pulls me. I'm going to go watch it. And then I'm going to listen to all the music. I'm going to check out the story. And you're being intentional. So you know that anything I get from this, I'm going to bring it back to the lab with me, right? And you could do that with anything. You could say, okay, I'm going to go out to eat somewhere and I'm going to go to a place that I know plays music and I'm going to just listen to what tunes they're playing, so that you can go and grab that and bring it back to the lab with you. That's what it's really about. Creating the energy, not waiting for it to find you. And not waiting for it to just, oh, I finally got it. Now I can go make a beat. No, that's not how you do it. You'll be waiting forever and you'll always experience beat block if you don't create the energy. So make sure that you're creating the energy. Create that energy field, whatever you got to do, So that's what it's about, man. I didn't want to take up too much time. I just wanted to drop some gems on you. I hope this helps. Make sure you subscribe. Like I said, like the video, drop a comment if you're feeling it. And if you have any other questions or any other videos you'd like to see me do, any topics you'd like to see me tackle, or any tactics you need to help you build your music production arsenal, let me know. So drop it in a comment. Peace, love, and beats. See you on the next one. Make sure you download the Rampage plugin. It's completely free. Just go to the website, apeshit808.com. You'll see it there. I'm going to leave a link in the description. Go grab that. All right.